Good afternoon. Welcome to another Facebook Live session by SpeakingTree.in. Today we have with us Santosh Joshi. He's an author, healer, a life coach, a motivational speaker, and a past life regressionist. And today he's going to talk to us about simple tips, tricks, and techniques that will help you become calmer, happier, and more productive. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So let's start off by talking about corporate stress and the best way to deal with it. You've conducted workshops on how to deal with motivation at workspace, and at the end of the day, it's a very common problem. So how can meditation and healing actually help us deal with that?
See, most often what happens is that we lose faith on our own abilities. We lose faith on the universal process, whatever we are going through, and when we and that makes us confused. That makes us feel that we are probably on a path where we aren't heading anywhere to, and this confusion then leads to frustration, and we don't know where what we are doing in our life, whether it's corporate life or whether it's our personal life. Knowing yourself better helps. Meditation helps in that. Meditation makes us, takes us to your own deeper self, connects to your true self, and having faith in your own abilities. You know what you are. How best you can do something, whatever you feel you are into. That helps a lot in taking away the stresses. I feel.
So we've talked about stress. How a lot of people, a common problem these days is a lot of people don't even know they're stressed. They're like, I don't know why I'm so worried, and why I don't know why I'm losing weight or putting on weight. So what are the symptoms that one should really look out for when they think they're too stressed?
The most important thing is that they feel lost. Lost because they don't know where they are heading, and whatever they are doing, whether they are doing the right thing in their life, what's the purpose of whatever they are doing, and purpose really means a deeper meaning to the work in their work life. Many times it happens that in their heart they wanted to do something else, and they're on this path. They joined a job just because of some XYZ reasons, and then suddenly they feel that I wanted to do something else, and so that feeling of being lost is the most important thing. I feel what a person can do in these kind of things is, of course, your job is most important thing, and you can focus on your own abilities, do it to the best of whatever you can, give your best to whatever you can, be a leader in whatever field you are, but also pursue your passion. Give your time to your own self, at least 10 minutes or 20 minutes every day to your own passion, to do what you like doing most, and that will keep you that in your inner self alive, and you won't most often feel lost.
Let's start off, also talk about your signature sky healing. We all know that it's a revolutionary form of healing, and it's of course very famous around the world. What is the basis of that? And if you can just give us a small 2-minute demo, that would just give us insight how it needs to be done.
Sure. Being in the corporate world for 17 years, when I left my job, one of the most important things I wanted to devise, or I wanted to make was or find an answer for, was how we can come out of this day-to-day stress. And life has become so fast that we don't have time to meditate for an hour or 2 hours every day, and that makes us difficult to give time to ourselves, heal yourself, and to connect to your true self, so where your purpose of life comes from. So then while I was experimenting on my own self through my own breath, I kind of found this technique, which was basically came as a breathing pattern, and then finally when Sky came up in 2009, when I developed it and started teaching to others. It's the complete Sky is basically a combination of tapping, breathing, and visualization. And so there are 7 breathing patterns which take you deep into your trance. And once you are in your deep state of trance, when you visualize whatever you are looking to manifest in your life. So in deep state of trance, when you visualize whatever you're looking to manifest in your life, you help that to manifest as well. So that 12-minute technique becomes a very, very effective tool for everyone to heal yourself physically, emotionally, at the same time for manifestation of your life goals. So since 2009, then I have been practicing this, teaching it to many people. Almost 10,000 or more people have been using this technique in India and abroad. And most importantly, I always wanted to help people who are most stressed, and I found that most stressed people are the people who are guarding our borders, the soldiers. And I wanted to do something for the Indian Army, and that opportunity came when one of the regiments of Indian Army invited me to teach this sky healing technique to one of their regiments. And I found that those 500 or 800 soldiers, Jawans, who learned this technique, they're still in touch with me after doing all these, it's been 3 years and they're still in touch with me. They felt so relieved, and the depression thing completely went off, and it was a wonderful experience doing this for Indian Army. I did for Mumbai Police as well and various corporates. So it's become quite an interesting, it's become a phenomenon, so to say. Sky has 3 levels, level 1, level 2 and level 3. So level 1 technique is a 12-minute technique, which is, as I told you, is a combination of tapping, breathing and visualization. Level 2 is even smaller technique, which is a 9-minute technique, and it's about inner cleansing. So in level 2, it's through breathing, you do your inner cleansing through your energy centers. And level 3 is even deeper. So, one can do level 1, level 2 and level 3, one after the other. In between, after doing level 2, one can become a sky teacher, where if you find your purpose in healing others, if you find your purpose in spreading this technique to other people, you can become a sky teacher as well. So we have almost 15-16 teachers working in various cities in India now, who are taking their own workshops.
Great. And is it possible for you to demonstrate some quick breathing exercise, not necessarily sky, but something that can instantly calm you?
Because, sure. So I'll demonstrate a small, the 3 breathing patterns, and this is a part of sky. So out of the 7 breathing patterns, these are the last 3 breathing patterns. So basically, one has to remember 2 things while all these 3 patterns. First thing is, one has to breathe continuously. It's called continuous, connected and cyclic breaths. So when we breathe, I'll just demonstrate a little bit. When we breathe, we normally stop between our 2 breaths. So normal breathing would be so we are stopping between breathing in and breathing out, both sides. Here we have to breathe continuously. It has to be a continuous breathing. Right? So this is continuous, connected and cyclic breathing. Second thing one has to remember is it has to be conscious breathing. So when our breath touches each part of our windpipe and our lungs, we can feel it, observe that feeling. So it's called breath observation. So when we breathe in and breathe out, just observe or be aware of your breath. So I can feel the breath going in and going out. So during all these 3 patterns, one has to remember these 2 things. Now the 3 patterns are like this. First one, it's a short version of sky I'm telling you. So one can breathe, say 8 times continuously. Eight continuous breaths. Second pattern is 4 short breaths and 1 long breath. Okay, that makes 1 cycle. So we have to take 8 such cycles. I'll show you how. 4 short breaths and 1 long breath. Again, continuous breathing and conscious breathing. So like this 8 times. Okay. So now these are the first 2 patterns. The third pattern is exactly similar to the second pattern. Here we will again take 4 short breaths and 1 long breath, but this time we will not make the sound of our breath. Normally when I am breathing, I am making this, there's a sound of our breath, right? Next cycle where we do the exactly same breaths, 4 short and 1 long, 8 cycles without the sound of our breath. no sound, right? So 8 breaths, continuous connected cyclic breathing, then 4 short and 1 long with sound, 8 cycles, and 4 short and 1 long without sound, 8 cycles. Once you complete all these 3 patterns, just go into your normal breathing, keep your eyes closed, and just sit for a few minutes observing what's happening within you. What you'll find is that the series of thoughts what you're getting in your mind will slowly vanish. You may have 1 or 2 thoughts left in your mind. You can let them be, but that will calm your mind. That will bring whatever anger or fear or emotional trauma you're going through. That will slowly settle down. You can do this morning, evening, afternoon, or whenever you find yourself stressed, angry, or fearful, or suppose you have a presentation, say 5 minutes later you have a presentation and you're feeling very agitated or irritated. Just sit for some time. In 2 minutes you do this, and when you go for your presentation or your important meeting, you'll feel fresh, you'll feel confident, and you'll feel connected to your true self, and that helps in bringing out your best potential.
That was amazing. So I'm sure our viewers are going to benefit from that. And of course, we are taking questions. So please write in with your questions in the comment section. Now, so we have a very interesting question, and I remember the chat we were having before the interview began that you did engineering and then you decided to do something connected to healing and doing better for the society. So someone asked that how to give time to your passion in this competitive world and how to find that energy and the strength to actually follow it.
Well, I believe that once we know what we are here for, or once we know our true passion, one has to follow it. One must follow that passion, because that gives us our inner strength, that brings in that inner faith in our own abilities. And once we are connected to our true self, that actually grounds us, because many times we feel lost, many times we feel confused in our life. That helps us in our grounding. So we can we must try for at least 20-30 minutes or whatever time you get during the day to be with your own self, to try to do whatever you like the most. What is your passion? Maybe you like painting. Do it for at least 5-10 minutes every day. Maybe you like reading good books, or just adventure, or whatever you want to do. Find some time to do that stuff, and that really helps you in of course in doing better in whatever field you are in, but also being connected to your own true self.
Right. So also as a layman, as someone who's working a regular job 24/7 is working, how difficult it is to find some sort of motivation when everything in your life is going wrong. They say that you need to calm down yourself when something is going wrong, but as they say that people never calm down when they're told to calm down. So how do you find that motivation to carry on in life when everything supposedly is going wrong?
See, the best thing I have found through all this journey is the best motivation is self-motivation. Because many times you might not get anybody to talk to, or anyone whom you can discuss your problems with, because there are things which you may not be able to discuss at all. Since once we know how to connect to your own self, and this breathing technique which I gave you will help you to connect to your own self. Self-motivation helps. So whenever you get time, if you like motivating music, put on an earphone and listen to that music. If you like web podcasts, listen to those motivating podcasts. If you have books, you just mark the areas, mark the pages you want to read whenever you are feeling down. That helps you to remotivate yourself. One most important thing is having the feeling of gratitude, gratefulness for whatever you have. Most often we forget to be thankful for what we have and focus most often on have-nots, and that creates an issue with us, because then we start comparing with others, and have-nots really because these are all the things which we want in our life, but they are not there, and we see others having it. So being thankful and having gratitude for whatever you have in life gives us a sense of energy, and it gives us the strength to move ahead in our life.
Right, of course, we're taking questions and we don't have much time left, so please write in the questions in the comment section and we'll try and take as many as possible. We have another question, says that I find it very difficult to concentrate on my work life, and I find that something is completely bothering me. I think what he wants to know is that how do I know if there are unresolved karmas of my past that are bothering me right now. And is there any way to find out? And if yes, then how can you resolve them? This is supposedly everything is fine in your life, even then you can't concentrate.
Fine. As far as unresolved karmas are concerned, of course, one can find out through past life regression process. This therapy is extremely, very strong to and very effective to, let you know what you are, the repetitive patterns in your life are coming from previous lifetimes. But in this lifetime, if you want to resolve issues, just have faith in your own self. Whatever you are the best. And you are unique in the whole universe. So be completely positive. Have faith in your own abilities. Be sure that you are the one who is going to solve all your problems. And have faith in the universal process. That's the best way to resolve any issues, whatever you have in your life.
So you've also mentioned that obviously Sky can resolve a lot of issues, and also my question is that who all can practice Sky? Is there any criteria? Not exactly criteria, but can anyone actually practice Sky?
I very commonly quote this: anyone who can breathe can practice Sky. So there's no limit, there's no age bar. I've had participants who are 8-year-old, 7-year-old children, or the oldest participant who came to my workshop was 93-year-old person. So there's no restriction, anyone can practice.
We have another question saying that apart from the usual stress management and the fact that it helps you calm down, how can Sky help you physically in terms of your body?
Tremendously. In fact, these breathing patterns, when you go in a deep state of trance, one common thing which everyone knows is when we are in a state of trance, our aura or auric or energy body is completely smoothened out. Whatever imbalances we have in our auric or energy body, they are completely smoothened out. So our diseases or physical problems, they first come in our energy body and then manifest on the physical body. So we are preventing ourselves from any further problems or issues. But I have found Sky to be so effective that there have been many people who come to me saying that their diabetes medicines have stopped, or blood pressure medicines have stopped because of Sky, or suddenly they have started sleeping well. People who have got insomnia and stuff like that, or stresses, or people coming out of the medicines they take for depression or emotional issues. My belief is that this process is still in the stage where people are exploring its advantages, its benefits, and more people come and tell me that physically they have been healed completely, come out of the stressful situations, emotions. I believe that it's so powerful that it can heal you on the physical as well as emotional levels.
Great. So when it comes to spirituality, I was just going through some of your columns, and you busted a few myths about people saying that for spirituality you need to be secluded or you need to leave your family, but that's not true. So what do you think spirituality is all about? What does being spiritual means to you?
I believe spirituality is all about being with your own self, being in touch with your true core. Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality has nothing to do with what you follow or what sect or faiths you have. It's all to do with living honestly, genuinely, truthfully who you are. And once you realize who you are, once you are genuinely with your own self, I think that's the most spiritual life. I've seen people who are atheists, who don't believe in God, who don't believe in any religion, and I haven't seen most spiritual people than them. So it's only to do with your own self, nothing else.
Great. So we have another question that's saying that I cannot find myself to meditate despite several attempts. I find that something is distracting me always. How can I really put my mind to it?
The most important thing in meditation is being in the present moment. So easiest thing is while walking, just observe your steps. That's the easiest or simplest meditation. Observing your breath is another simple way of meditation. If you're sitting somewhere, just close your eyes and observe your breath. That can be a very simple way of meditation. Or be where you are or whatever you are doing, present in this moment. And you will find your life itself becomes a meditation. You don't need to sit at some place and close your eyes and do something to meditate. Meditation becomes a way of life.
Right. And we've also have a question about, we've spoken about work stress and other stress, that how to cope with emotional stress, like, the death of a loved one, or, something that completely changes your life. How do you get over that?
What happens is that all these major changes, whatever change we go through, whether it is a small change or a big change, we all go through a transition. There are 7 stages of transition, so we all go through those stages of transition. But in whatever we go through, we have to believe, or we have to trust the universal process, the greater plan which is going through in our life. We are all a part of that greater plan, the larger plan. And once we understand that, there will be people coming to our life, there will be people going away from our life, but it's a universal process, and we are all a part of this. So just have this faith in this process, and slowly you will transcend through whatever you are going through.
Great. We just have enough time to take a couple of more questions. One is a very question that we normally face every day: how to handle rejection and keep moving forward in life without fear.
As I said, there is always a deeper meaning or deeper purpose to whatever happens in our life. So if someone rejects you, first be thankful that that person came in your life. Everything comes when we transcend, it gives us a wisdom, it gives us some learning. So be thankful that that person came in our life, and if that person has not been able to be with you, or has rejected, or whatever feeling you have, I believe that when one door closes, the other door definitely opens. But we keep on looking at the closing door for so long that we don't even realize that there is an door opening for us. So have faith in the universal process and in your own abilities, and I think just go with the flow. The transition happens with time.
Great. Thank you, sir. I think that's enough. I mean, that's all we could have time for. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a wonderful session. I think our viewers are going to take away a lot of techniques. And if you want to give like a parting note to our viewers and how they get in touch with you, please.
Well, the only message I would want to give everyone is that each one of us here on this earth has immense, extraordinary abilities. Believe in those abilities. Believe in what you are, and we are all here to do extraordinary stuff. We are all here to live a wonderful life. So have trust, have faith in this process and in your own abilities. One can get in touch with me through my website, that's www.santoshjoshi.com, or write to us on info@santoshjoshi.com, or there's a phone number which I can mention here if possible. It's 750-617-4480. So any of these ways one can, and today's world of course is it's all about social media.
Yeah.
On Facebook you can follow me on my page Santosh Joshi 01, or on Twitter it's also, the handle is Santosh Joshi 01, or on Instagram, which is again Santosh Joshi 01. So let's be in touch, and I'm sure we together can create a wonderful world for all of us here.
That's, I think, the perfect way to wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. For your daily dose of spirituality, please log on to speakingtree.in. Thank you.